This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Friday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, SiriusXM channel 158. We appreciate you taking us in, however you do, through any one of those methods. It's Gil Alexander. It's Kelly Bidlin, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
You think Darnell's trying to fix my posture, or do I just keep getting tall people sitting in this chair?
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, I think it's tall people. I'm short.
Man, you look great, man. So everybody comes by and like, look at Kelly.
I'm gonna hover like this for the first segment.
I'll do that. You know here's the trivia question. Who's the most unsettling person VSiN hosts to sit in that when you have to interview them? Because their posture is so unbelievable.
Oh, I don't know.
Mike Somich. Perfect posture.
Somich, yeah, that's
perfect posture.
You think that's a perfect posture thing, or like a back issue thing that like he had to adjust?
I think he's trying to send a message. I think he's trying to intimidate.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
I think he is too.
I think that's what he's doing. Packed Friday show. Paul Carr moving the chains, and when I say moving the chains, 2-1 2 weeks ago to start the Premier League season. 2-1 last week, or was it Premier League last week? I don't even remember. But it's 2-1s in a row.
Prem and Prem.
Prem and Prem.
Oh man, I forgot to update the record.
We'll take a 2-1 from him every week on his 3-pack of soccer plays. We got Prem picks from him coming up this hour, and it is Friday. That means Felica and Fezzik. But because we've added a third hour, it's a little bit of a spread out now. Felica gets the top of hour number 2. Fezzik gets the top of hour number 3. Dr. Bob is usually the third part of this, but we had him earlier in the week, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll see y'all next week. I got a wedding to go to." Was the exact quote I got from him.
I do like
cool. Fine, pick a wedding over us. That's fine.
I do like the guest planning by me and you sometimes. We're like, yesterday me and Gil were sitting after the show. We're like, did Bob say something about not being on Friday? I think he did.
Hey, Bob, we'll see you Friday, right? He's like, see you guys.
Yeah, he definitely said on Tuesday, see you next week. Yeah. And I was like, all right.
Felica, though, with all his college football thoughts as he heads into a big noon kickoff at Fox Sports with Texas and Ohio State. But I really do wonder if just this one time he'd rather be back at ESPN for Lee Corso's finale. Because I know Lee meant so much to him and means so much to him. And so we'll talk to Chris about that. And, of course, all of his picks in college football and beyond. And then Fezzik, a whole bunch of stuff on Fezzik Friday. Everything that's on his mind in the sports betting world. And there is a lot on his mind. AFC South, we'll get to that as well on the show. And how about some September wins in Major League Baseball?
Yeah.
We'll do that here in about 15 minutes. Tennis plays coming up momentarily. But first,
did you catch anybody else besides Caesars with them posted yesterday?
Yeah, Circa, right behind you, buddy.
Oh, wow. They had them up already.
Yeah, just turn around. They're there.
Okay.
Made my bet this morning.
Oh, you did?
Made my bet.
Nice.
Also made my bed. Didn't do. That sounded like I said I made my bed. I didn't make my bed. That's a lie. But I made my bet.
That's a lie.
Yeah. Okay, tennis picks coming up. Another nice winning day at the U.S. Open yesterday with 2 more dogs hitting plus 175 and a plus 178. We'll get to that, but we got to start with Micah Parsons here. The thing that I don't know that we really thought would happen, with McLaurin got signed by Washington, Hendrickson got signed by Cincinnati. They worked it out however they worked out by Hayward just deciding, okay, I'll play for you Steelers. And the only one looming was Micah Parsons in Dallas, which we said many times here seemed a little more contentious than all of them. And that was saying something because it certainly wasn't pleasant in the other situations. But the result ends up being that Jerry Jones has decided to trade Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. As I'm sure you know by now, Cowboys receive a 2026 and 2027 first-round pick, so 2 first-rounders, and defensive tackle Kenny Clark, a Pro Bowler himself, but who was not a youngster, right? Been in the league for 10 years. And with that, by the way, Parsons, $188 million over 4 years, 136 of which are guaranteed. It's like Kelly's contract here at VSiN. Similar guarantees.
I cannot imagine. If we got paid that way, oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I was just telling you off air at KBL in the 90s, we came one number away collectively as a station from hitting the first Powerball that was over $100 million. And we said, oh, my God, if we had won this, half the people would have left, half would have stuck around and just been horrible humans. It would have destroyed the station.
It's just, you can't do this everywhere in corporate America because I just would you would not incentivize me to work harder.
I think Mike is incentivized. Here's how the odds moved on the news. Packers to win the NFC North goes from 2-1 to plus 165. To win the NFC from 9-1 to 6-1. To win the Super Bowl from 19-1 to 12-1. And for Jordan Love to win MVP from 25-1 to 20-1. How about that? Cowboys, other direction. Before the trade, plus 650 to win the NFC East. Now they're 8-1. Cowboys to win the NFC from 25-1 to 30-1. And Cowboys to win the Super Bowl from 55-1 to 70-1. Kelly and I, we went too quickly on our NFC power rankings. Yesterday we did them. I had the Packers 5th and I had the Cowboys 10th. Guess what they are today? 3rd and 14th.
Yep, sounds about right.
I have only the Eagles and Lions better than the Packers now, and the Cowboys drift all the way down where only New Orleans and Carolina are worse. Seriously. Cowboys, are the proverbial over team this year, the Cowboys? All offense, no defense?
Oh, I have made a list of those teams to go over later.
Yeah.
That is my single biggest takeaway from all of our offseason NFL prep. Of the ridiculous amount of teams,
Bengals, Cowboys,
that have average to above average offenses, Gil,
Yep.
that their defenses are then below average to terrible.
Yeah.
And it will take weeks before I can even consider any of those teams in an under.
Well, here's what Cowboys great Michael Irvin, Hall of Famer, had to say about the Micah Parsons trade on his podcast.
I know he loved Micah Parsons. So in order for us to be right here, something had to go down that hurt Jerry personally to make this crazy, dumb move. The Gambler and his Cowboys is the series that is out right now. This is a gamble the Gambler should not have taken.
Wow. Cowboys great Michael Irvin, who was just on ESPN yesterday promoting that series, saying there's no chance that Jerry Jones will trade Micah Parsons. And then that happened. My initial reaction, and I think my biggest conviction on this is, you cannot trade a generational player like this before his prime, right? The only player besides Reggie White to go 4 straight seasons with 12 sacks in each of those seasons. Multiple Pro Bowler after being Rookie of the Year. Game changer. You cannot trade a player like this and justify it to me. But let me give the other side of it, just for argument's sake. The other side of it is, and I got this from a couple Cowboys fans, and this could fall under the category of, are they being serious or they're trying to cope? And the argument for this is, well, what if you determined that you are not anywhere close to being a Super Bowl team, and you just have to say to yourself, well, if we're not close to being a Super Bowl team, are we really going to allocate $47 million a year to make Micah Parsons the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the NFL, which is what the Packers ended up doing with him? And so, if you take that position, this is actually a very responsible move by the Cowboys because they got 2 first-round picks out of it, albeit probably later in the first round, and they get a Pro Bowler in Kenny Clark to boot. And this may allow them now to tank for Arch, right, in the process as well. That's the other side of the argument.
See, but that one doesn't...
Here's my counter to that counter before you chime in.
Yeah.
My counter to that counter is, even if you believe that, do you really believe Jerry Jones did that out of being a rational mind or because his ego got hurt and he just happened to fall into that argument?
It's also, sorry, BS, because the timing. You would have done this before the draft. Earlier in the offseason, when you would have had more suitors and could have gotten more back for Micah Parsons.
Yep.
And I do think they could have gotten more back. It's not a complete unfair when you just look back, look at what they got back. Like, there are some the Cowboys fans can justify, hey, we've got something to look forward to in the future. We didn't get completely fleeced, but this could have and should have been better if you were actually going to trade Micah Parsons.
It wasn't Luka Doncic bad, speaking of which. Dallas, great summer, huh?
Yeah, God bless.
Great summer you're having. Luka Doncic gone, Micah Parsons gone. 2 crown jewels of your professional team athletes. Luka, they got, arguably less for. But Micah, I agree with you. Probably could have gotten more.
Yeah.
But even if you were to lean into the Cowboys fan coping argument of this, and actually, maybe, because I said it about Washington, and I was trying to be rational about the McLaurin thing, but you want your GM to GM. And maybe this is the first time that they took the position that Jerry Jones actually did something as a GM. My counter is, because his ego got hurt somewhere along the line. As Michael Irvin said, he must have got hurt personally. And let's not act like he did this because he wanted to. He fell into this, if that's your position.
Oh, come on, Gil. You clearly didn't see Jerry Jones' presser then yesterday. Him and Steven said at least 97 times that we need to focus on stopping the run, okay? Not one pass rusher doesn't. We got to stop it. We got to focus on stopping the run. Jerry did drop in there. The team might be better.
Oh, stop it.
That was said.
Stop it.
And both Jerry and Steven both said, don't rule out them making a big trade at some point this season.
Oh, that's exciting. Dude, you already made your big trade, and you lost the crown jewel of your franchise.
Jerry's getting up there. Some of that was a little...
You cannot trade this, dude. I don't care what anybody tells me.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. What did I text you yesterday?
Again,
you can't draft someone perfectly. A can't miss prospect.
Yes.
And guess what? You didn't miss. He was awesome. And then 4 years in...
You messed it up.
Sorry, see ya.
So bad.
And then to someone in the conference.
So bad. Again, another highlight from the counter argument. Well, if you can't get it to third down on defense, might as well get rid of him.
Yeah.
You stink on first and second down, and he can't really show his talents on third. Stop it. Just stop it. Tennis picks and MLB most wins in September. Next on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Stay ahead of the game? Look no further than VSiN's YouTube page. Find expert analysis, game previews, and best bets from all of our shows. No matter what sport you're looking to bet on, follow at VSiN Live on YouTube for everything you need.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next edition of Prop Points, we will start off the show with the latest news and notes going around the National Football League. We're now less than 7 days away from the NFL season kicking off, so it's time to get you ready for your upcoming fantasy football drafts. And this week, we've covered my favorite fantasy targets and props for quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers, and we'll close out the week with some of my favorite fantasy targets and props for the tight ends. I'm John Hansen. Tune in to Friday's edition of Prop Points at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
As the official horse racing partner of VSiN, First Bet is built for bettors who demand more. First Bet isn't just about placing a bet. It's about helping bettors of all levels with proprietary AI handicapping tools that provide data-driven insights to help you make smarter bets. First Bet's in-app tools give you win, place, and show probabilities for each runner so you can quickly and easily identify good value plays and improve your ROI. Just in time to take advantage of their limited time $250 sign-up offer for the Pacific Classic. You can claim your bonus by using promo code VSIN250 when you sign up in the First Bet app or at firstbet.com. That's promo code VSIN250. We get tweets. Kelly Bidlin, I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Hey-o.
At Beating the Book. J-Rod. A few potty mouths today. And Paul Carr, he says, on the show. Mariners Geek, Baseball Geek 72. Gents, may I recommend an adjustment to your normal exercise when discussing NFL teams before next week? How about sabemos realmente quiénes son? Do we really know who they are? Yeah, it's not a bad idea. That's what Are We Sure is about.
Trying to do the Espanol translation.
Brad Magnus, yo. Do you know what Parsons Defensive Player of the Year odds did yesterday? Go Pack Go. What did they do? Defensive Player of the Year. Only a small drop, right? Like
a small
like
move.
A tick.
Yeah. I didn't go back. I thought the Jordan Love MVP movement was it was more significant both in number and I actually think matters more.
Yeah.
Right? Like at Parsons is 6-1. He was in that range. He might have been plus 650, something like that. I do think Hutchinson, Garrett, and Watt, though, they priced back a bit further than where they were at. Hutchinson plus 750, Myles Garrett plus 850, TJ Watt plus 950.
Thank you, sir. The Unders Club. You guys ever think about switching chairs? Yeah, it's been a while.
I cannot believe that still bothers people.
Someone said that. Huh? Prime time. Oh, prime time. How you feeling today? Cowboys _Cubs 1. He says, yo, hey, man, I'm sorry. So I says to fellow Cowboys fans yesterday, I can't stand narcissistic, egomaniacal billionaires who ramble nonsensical stuff, think they're the smartest guy in the room. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He's not taking it well. But that was very brave of him to come on and at least talk like that.
Dude, Jerry was... let's get real for a minute. This summer's been tough for me, okay? I thought I was going to get Jameis Winston starting a game this year. I thought I was going to get Anthony Richardson starting a game this year. Nope, we're going to have no fun. The no fun league hits. Mm-hmm. Those guys get relegated.
Yeah.
Thought Keegan Bradley was going to be a playing captain for the Ryder Cup. Nope, Too good guy. Let's be boring. Let's make the good guy move. Jerry Jones always keeps things exciting, Gil. Just when we thought this summer we were going to finally roll into week 1 with nothing else that could be done, Jerry Jones keeps it exciting and then goes and holds a 1 hour plus press conference where he repeats over and over again, we've got to stop the run. We've got to stop the run. That man he's just a national treasure.
Jerry.
National treasure.
Jerry is someone who lived under the Daniel Snyder regime for a quarter of a century. Cowboys fans, ball's in your court now.
Dude, and then it's like some of the things that I know people have complained about forever, but like he still drops like it's 1995. Like he had an opportunity to be a part of the Dallas Cowboys. Like, it says it in like, that logo and that name should mean more than anything else. And you're like, dude, it's 2025, man.
Bro, Jimmy Johnson did it all for him. Jimmy Johnson came from college. He knew where the great college players was. He drafted amazingly. The Herschel Walker trade included in that. They won. Barry Switzer got a drift Super Bowl from that. They've never done anything since.
That's wild.
Eric Gillen, as a longtime Mavericks and lifelong Cowboys fan, this year has been a blanking. By the way, the blanking begins with an F. Should point that out. Kick in the balls, causing me to for the first time question my loyalties and fandom. Brian Schaefer, 31. There is no justification for trading Parsons. I'm with you, Brian. They could have gotten more for Parsons from other teams. Giants give Jones the money over Saquon. Commanders are the oldest team now, and now this. Eagles just get better every day. Kevin Ryan. Gil, everything you said about the Cowboy saga is true, but it is nice to see Jerry not just cave for once. Yeah, I don't read it that way.
Yeah. And I'll push back on the other one real quick, too. I think this, from what I've seen in the past season, and then even just the past month, all 3 other teams in the NFC East are on the rise, and the Cowboys are on the fall. I texted you this yesterday. A month ago, I would if I could have sold you 2028 futures on the Giants or the Cowboys, I would have been buying Cowboys over Giants still. No, after Jackson Dart preseason and then Micah, see you later. Giants look a whole lot better now with their future.
I think if you are a Cowboys fan, you should probably be thinking, well, tank it up. If Arch is everything that people who love Arch think he is. You got one more year of Dak Prescott after this year, and after that you can kind of release him with not much of a cap hit. 1 year of Dak mentoring, and there you go. Mm-hmm. That's probably how you look at it at this point, if you think that's the prize. Let's talk tennis for one more minute here, because we got tennis plays. Yesterday, another winning day at the U.S. Open, a 3-2. But again, with these tennis plays, it's not just a 3-2. Two more big dogs hit, a plus 175 and a plus 178. Kelly, do we have the list of all the? This is not a full list of plays since July the 11th, but this is a sampling. It's been since the only two matches here are the very first two were grass season. Everything else is hard courts. But these are a sampling of the dogs that have been hit since July 10th. Plus 211, plus 220, another plus 220, a plus 262, a plus 194, a plus 335, plus 271, plus 233, plus 276, plus 200, plus 206, plus 230, and then yesterday a plus 178 and a plus 175. 17 units to the positive since the very tail end of grass season. I hope everybody has been a part of this. All of this, if not on the show, is at VSiN.com/picks for subscribers. We got two more plays today. No sexy dogs today, though. We are in round 3. Only landed on 2 plays today, Kelly. A lot of big favorites today. But the 2 plays that I do have, I haven't, both on the ladies' side. One is a total, one is a side. I am on the over in the Emma Raducanu, Elena Rybakina match.
Ooh,
over 22 games. I think this is going to be a tremendous tennis match.
Is this best match of the tournament so far?
Yes. Best match of the tournament so far. Raducanu, who, of course, won this as a quali. Was that 2021, I believe that was? I always get the years mixed up.
That long ago?
God, it's amazing.
Oh, boy, that's gonna make me
Her
feel
first U.S. Open match victory since then was this tournament. Raducanu, who's been playing so well of late, against Elena Rybakina, who's, quite frankly, whose numbers are a tick better than Raducanu's on hard courts. But I expect this to be a long tennis match. I think it goes 3 sets, over 22, Raducanu versus Rybakina. And then the only side, also on the ladies' side, your girl, Kelly. Tat him up. Marketa Vondrasova, who has maybe the worst tattoos I've ever seen on any human being ever. Minus 105 versus the adorable, the lovable Jasmine Paolini. But Vondrasova's numbers are just
adorable, lovable. You've been fading the crap out of Paolini, haven't you?
But have you ever seen her in an interview after a match?
Yeah, she's very sweet.
Adorable.
Yeah,
she's so sweet. But I'm fading her. I'm taking Vondrasova. Her numbers are better than Paolini's on hard courts, and as steely and as likable as Paolini is, it's fade time. So over 22, Raducanu Rybakina, and then Vondrasova minus 105 versus Jasmine Paolini. To baseball. September MLB wins. Now, let me just give you the history on this. These started last year. Came out of the box firing last year again. Oh, by the way, here's your August update. Still, Brewers clinch a dead heat, but they haven't clinched it outright yet. 3 games left, 3-win lead over both the Red Sox and Phillies. By the way, see Schwarber yesterday? 4 home runs.
Padres dead?
What's that?
Padres are dead?
Padres dead.
Dang it.
They lost yesterday.
Yeah,
dead.
4 home runs real quick.
Schwarber goes to the leader in most regular season home runs, minus 110 to Cal Raleigh's plus 110.
I would have loved to see what that market was yesterday.
4 homers. Again, one of the rarest feats in the history of Major League Baseball is a 4-home-run game.
Yeah, becomes the 21st person ever.
Isn't that the second one this year, right?
Yeah, Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah.
Which I heard that this morning. I completely forgot about.
Yeah, no, I remember that. And by the way, just as a reminder in terms of the home run lead right now, Raleigh has 50, Schwarber has 49, Ohtani down to 45. Anyway, here's your August. So you saw the August. So September, last year again, an out away from hitting a 65-1 in March, April. 1 game out in May last year, and then we hit the 25-1 and a 17-1 because I bet it at 2 shops on the Astros in June. Since then, the last 3 months of last year and the first 5 of this year, crapola. Here's September. These are the games that each of these franchises have. You see the Guardians play the most games, meaning the most opportunities to get wins, 27 of them. But I don't think they're very good. And by the way, I don't think the teams with 26 are that good either. Rays, Angels, Twins, Nationals. There's only 2 teams I considered here. Can we throw that graphic up on the board? The 2 teams I considered here are in the 25 group, and that's the Padres and the Cubs, and they are among the short shots. In fact, the Padres at circa plus 725, the Cubs at circa plus 925. The Padres have the easiest remaining schedule as of this moment. I believe they will have the easiest schedule headed into the month. Cubs have the second easiest schedule as of this moment. Padres have a pretty stark home road split. They get 16 at home, though, in September, only 9 on the road, so that's favorable. And they don't play anybody besides the Brewers and the Mets, really, with apologies to the Reds. But the key there, 7 against the Rockies and 3 against the White Sox. Cubs also play more at home, 15-10, than they do on the road. But they don't have those 7 against the Rockies or those 3 against the White Sox. Kelly, I made the bet this morning. Padres plus 725. It's not that sexy, but I'm going with just the straightforward play in the month of September for most wins. San Diego Padres plus $725. By the way, at William Hill Caesars, it's already like plus 550. So that's a favorable price. And I don't have to deal with the dead heat at Serco.
Right.
Fire away, people. Fire away. $725. It's not that sexy, but I'm going with just the straightforward play in the month of September for most wins. San Diego Padres plus 725. By the way, at William Hill Caesars, it's already like plus 550. So that's a favorable price. And I don't have to deal with the dead heat at Serco.
Right.
Fire away, people. Fire away. $725. It's not that sexy, but I'm going with just the straightforward play in the month of September for most wins. San Diego Padres plus 725. By the way, at William Hill Caesars, it's already like plus 550. So that's a favorable price. And I don't have to deal with the dead heat at Serco.
Right.
Fire away, people. Fire away.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on the Numbers Game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander and my little buddy Kelly Bidlin, everybody. Hey, losing weight before our very eyes. What's the number?
227.
Oh, I gotta now aggressively go, like, extend my lead, because otherwise you're going to pass me.
It was like 226 and a half this morning, actually, but I'm going to round up 227. So I was on the bike for a while yesterday.
He's gaining on me. By the way, I just want to bring up the Schwarber thing again, because Kyle Schwarber hits 4 home runs in a game yesterday. By the way, had an at-bat for a 5th.
Yeah.
Had an at-bat for a 5th against a position player. Popped him up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I missed that part. Dude, there was so much going on yesterday. I don't know when you caught it, but I didn't catch it until he hit the 4th one, and then it was finally like the breaking news on the ticker of ESPN. It was like, oh, I wish I could turn that game on.
It's really true. I was watching so much tennis that, like, the rest of the world.
That was college football and tennis.
I watched college football. I only made one college football bet. Boise State looked so bad. Like, in the first quarter, I bet an under on that game, and that got home. I under 52 in game. That was pretty easy. And then the Schwarber thing while I was watching tennis. So this has happened now. 4 home runs in a game by one player. It's happened 21 times. We shortchanged it 3 times this year. It was not only Eugenio Suarez in April, but Nick Kurtz of the Athletics hit 4 in massive fashion in a game. What was it, a month or 2 ago? A month ago.
Wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. So we've had 3 of the 21 this year. And if you look at, like, what are the rarest feats in Major League Baseball, I get it, this has nothing to do with betting, but I'm fascinated by stuff like this. The 4 home run game is like the 6th most rare thing. You know what's rarer than that? Stealing 2nd, 3rd, and home in one appearance. Hitting for the cycle. Triple crown. Unassisted triple play, and a 20 strikeout game. I think the 20 strikeout game is still the most rare thing. I mean, there's so many things that are rare, but it's among the rarest thing in baseball.
Yeah, but I mean, more rare than a perfect game.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. There's another one here. Shortstop doesn't touch the ball the whole game is a very rare thing, apparently. The immaculate inning is a rare thing as well, but we've seen those. But this is one of the rarest things, and one of the top 10 rarest things in baseball.
Shortstop doesn't touch. Yeah. I've never heard that one brought up before, but okay. Yeah.
Didn't see that on the list before. Let's talk some Premier League soccer. Moving the chains, 2-1 a couple weeks ago, 2-1 last week. That's just what he does. It's Paul Carr, everybody, from True Media Networks and the Ringer Soccer Gambling Podcast. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good. Yeah, 2-1, just grinding them out. This is what we do. So we're going to look to do it again.
Is what we do. Now, Champions League, they have a draw? Champions League?
It did.
This used to be steeped in controversy, right?
Yeah, it used to matter more because they would draw you in 8 groups of 4 teams each. So it mattered a little more because only the top 2 got out. But now they just have one table of all the teams, all 36 teams, and the top 24 advance one way or the other. And so there's a draw to see who plays whom, but it's not as interesting. You know, everyone's going to get a couple good matchups, a couple medium matchups, and so on down. So, you know, Tottenham, for example, got a pretty decent draw yesterday, but, you know, is that going to make a difference as far as them advancing or not? I mean, yes, of course, but not really. And so you didn't see the title odds shift all that much as a result of this.
Paul texted me, full disclosure, he texted me, he's going to have his standard 3 picks, but he goes, we could also talk about what we just talked about, right? The Championship League draw. He said, it's not as important as it used to be since all the teams in the big table, what he just said. And then he goes, but it's something.
It's something. There was definitely a draw.
In the world of soccer.
It definitely happened.
But it's something. So we figured we'd talk about it for a minute. Yeah. That's a very lukewarm sort of pumping up with your segment content. It's something. Here's something.
It's something.
Here's your picks. 1 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Let's start with Saturday in the Premier League.
All right, we're going over on Saturday in Leeds, Newcastle, over 2.5, minus 125. Newcastle opened with a scoreless draw against Villa, then lost 3-2 to Liverpool last week. Leeds beat Everton. Leeds is newly promoted. They're back in the Premier League after a year or 2 absence. Looked pretty good against Everton and then got smoked 5-0 by Arsenal. And that's kind of a welcome back to the Premier League game. And Newcastle is somewhere between those 2 Leeds opponents. They're better than Everton. They're not as good as Arsenal. They are missing several attackers, but I still think this game is going to be open because I think Leeds will go for it. They're at home. They're going to see this as a big opportunity to get 3 points against one of the top 6-ish teams in the league. and that will open things up a little bit for Newcastle to hit them on the counter, again, even without some attackers. So I think we get goals here one way or another. Minus 125, pretty good price because Newcastle's missing several of their top players.
Leeds, Newcastle, over 2.5 goals on Saturday, and then a couple unders on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll go your old root against human achievement here.
I like it.
Let's see. Nottingham Forest, West Ham, under 2.5, minus 120. So Nottingham Forest is going to let West Ham have the ball because that's what Nottingham Forest does. I don't think West Ham knows what to do with it. I mean,
the analysis is fantastic. Yes,
I'm not sure it's what's the old Mel Kiper? I forget which team it was about. This team doesn't know what the draft is for.
The Colts,
something to that effect.
Bill
yeah,
Polian.
Colts, that's it.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of a similar thing. West Ham has 1 goal in 2 games, second worst team in attack from an underlying numbers perspective. And since they brought in a new manager, Graham Potter, who's bounced around the Premier League a little bit, they brought him in January, and they have the fewest points in the league since then. That's not great. And Forest is very happy to win games 1-0. They try to score first and then just buckle in and shut the other team out. Their games have the second fewest shots through a couple so far. So, this is just going to be Forest is fine scoring a goal and doing nothing, and West Ham's not very good at doing much of anything so far. So minus 120, under 2.5.
Okay, minus 120 and under 2.5. This under's in plus money.
Yeah, this is the big game of the weekend. Should be fun, even though I'm taking the under. Liverpool Arsenal, under 2.5. I got this at plus 105. I saw some plus 110s out there this morning. So Arsenal is missing Bukayo Saka, who's their best attacker, and the guy in which they funnel everything on the right side. He's out. He's injured. Martin Odegaard is questionable in the midfield, so they may go a little more defensive. And they'll probably be on the back foot a little more than usual just because Mo Salah is going to be rampaging down the right. They got to figure out how to slow him down. And Liverpool has looked good on paper. They had 3 goals against Newcastle last weekend, but they only had 5 shots. So this is right now reminded me a little bit of Liverpool early last season when they were kind of very much an under team while they were still, adapting. They're just playing differently than they had under a new manager. So I think we're going to see that again. This feels like a classic early season showdown. These are the 2 title favorites, feel each other out, be kind of a cagey game. When they met last October, it was pretty uneventful from a scoring opportunity standpoint, even though it ended 2-2, but only 18 shots, 1.5 or so expected goals. So I think this is just going to be a little bit cagey. 1-1 draw would be pretty happy for Arsenal if they could snatch a goal and pull one out there. But I think under 2.5 plus 105 or a little better.
Easy, or I should say early season, marquee matchup between Liverpool and Arsenal. So it's Leeds, Newcastle, over 2.5 goals on Saturday. And on Sunday, 2 unders. Nottingham Forest, West Ham, under 2.5 goals. Liverpool, Arsenal, under 2.5 goals. By the way, here was Bill Polian's response to Mel Kiper back in the day, since you bring it up. Who in the hell is Mel Kiper anyway? I mean...
Well, West Ham can say that about me, too.
I mean, here's a guy who criticizes everybody. Whoever they take, he's got the answers to who you should take and who you shouldn't. My knowledge of him, he's never put on a jockstrap. He's never been a coach. He's never been a scout. He's never been an administrator. And all of a sudden, he's an expert. We don't have to take anyone that Mel Kiper says we have to take. Mel Kiper has no more credentials to do what he's doing than my neighbor. And he's a postman. And he doesn't even have season tickets.
Doesn't even have season tickets.
He's a postman.
Yeah.
I was needed to
pay us money.
Why you got to throw postman under the bus? Wow.
Yeah, he's just standing there.
Just catching strays. All right, that's a good segue into our football, our domestic football, the National Football League, American football, if you will. You are a Miami Dolphins fan. I know I've asked you this earlier in the summer, but I give you one more chance now, right before the season starts. This is one of these teams, the Dolphins, where Kelly and I were throwing this around, like just the incoming opinions we've gotten, what have been the most widespread viewpoints? I think you said, Kelly, Minnesota. The Vikings probably have the most widespread, good to bad.
From what I've heard, yeah.
The Dolphins are up there, too. You're a fan. Where do you stand on them this year?
Look, it's before the season, so I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible, because if not now, then when? But on the whole, I'm a little bit down. They lost a lot of their best defensive players. They on the bright side, they brought in offensive linemen because their O-line was terrible, but those guys still have to do something. And there's always just the health issue, obviously, hanging over Tua. Achan's been a little bit banged up already. Tyreek Hill's coming back from injury. And they've shown the past couple years when 1 or 2 pieces aren't clicking or more pressure than usual coming from the other side, the offense hasn't had a second option or a second gear, a plan B, I guess would be a better way of saying it. So I'm not super optimistic right now, But I mean, I see the upside, and again, trying to be positive as a fan, but I'm a little bit down on this team. If they can hang around the playoff picture, I'd be pretty happy.
7.5 season win total. Over, under.
I mean, 8 is what I was going to say. I feel like it's just kind of a 500 type team, so I'd probably take the over, but I'm not thrilled about it.
No, I could, yeah.
Paul, you always had that poster in the background. Am I just noticing that for the first time? The Yanks.
We swapped that one out. Yeah, we had a World Cup poster, World Cup trophy. Good. Swapped that one out a little while ago.
Gil, can you name all 3 players in that poster?
I'm sorry. What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Is it Michael Bradley in the back? I can't tell.
Yeah, Michael Bradley, Clint Dempsey, Tim Howard.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I could have named those 3. I couldn't have named 4.
Guys.
I couldn't have named 4.
Paul,
Landon Donovan.
Appreciate Landon Donovan. Freddie Adu.
He wasn't on that team for Freddie Adu, yeah. Still kicking around somewhere.
One of these days, he's going to be huge. Thank you, Paul.
It's coming. Look out.
Appreciate it. Super Bowl exactas next on A Numbers Game.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Join the guru, John Hansen, at the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports on Prop Points, only on VSiN.
And shout out to Elijah Moore as well. Oftentimes he's Elijah less. Keep in mind, Sean Payton is evil for fantasy football.
John and his guests will help you find the connection between the two and give you his expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points, weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Want to bet smarter? Start with Smarter Insights. Right now you can check out Nigel Seeley's Premier League weekend best bets, Greg Peterson's MLB best bets, Auburn Baylor preview and picks. Can't wait for Felica and college football coming up. Later today you can check out Saturday college football previews, Kentucky Downs weekend horse racing picks, and Zach Cohen's U.S. Open picks. Right now you can sign up for as little as $9.99 to access all the VSiN Pro articles. Just head to VSiN.com/subscribe to sign up today. I have a little bit of an announcement to make, Kelly, that I didn't inform you of. Perhaps I should have informed you of this off air.
Okay.
Regularly on Wednesdays this year, this football season, Todd Wishnev.
Oh, there we go.
Toddy Wishnev, baby.
All right, Todd, there we go.
In the hizzy.
Like it.
We get tweets at Beating the Book. Y'all are the best. Oh, I got a few of these, Kelly. Did you see this? Ryan Kleinfelter. Yo, Gil. I put $100 on Green Bay 2 days ago, well before the Micah trade, to win the NFC North. Is my bet going to get voided by DraftKings? I'm kidding. Didn't bet it, but just saying. Well, you weren't the only one to say it, actually, because we got a couple others in that vein as well. This was from K-Flow. Great talking about a great show yesterday with Matthew Bowser. How great was that with Matthew Boyer?
Oh,
Matthew
so
Boyer
good,
yesterday. He said Bowser. It's Matthew Boyer. He says, does the Parsons trade immediately put DraftKings' new policy to the test? Any wagers earlier this summer on the under were technically made prior to adjusting their ability to adjust the line. And also from James Verlager. Are DraftKings going to cancel everyone's Green Bay bet now? Yeah, they wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare, would they? Bill Hooker. Jared also brilliantly traded Amari Cooper to the Browns for a 5th-round pick. Browns kept Cooper 2 years and traded him for a 3rd-rounder. Nice job, Jerry. Jonathan Doe, I'm getting over 22.5 games on that tennis match at even money. Is this still playable? Over 21.5 games is minus 135. Is this unplayable? Thanks, Gilly. That is a great question with pricing. I'm going to say this. I would not play the over 22.5. Would not play that number, despite the even money. I could get into the math of it, but I'm not going to go all Fezzik on you. Speaking of which, Tim Bauer says, Gil, does a numbers game have tips for separating fandom from betting? It seems like a fan could have an information edge if they follow good beat writers close enough. That is correct. That's absolutely correct. You should, what is the Matt Brown thing? Curate your beat writers on Twitter.
Yeah, man.
For
You don't have to
information.
be a fan to do that, though.
Yeah. Also, he says, was Fezzik ever a sports fan, and does he enjoy watching sports, or is he just a human computer? He is just a human computer, but I will ask him if he was ever a fan. That's a great question. Were you ever, when you were a kid, were you a human computer, or did you like a team?
It's a good point.
You robot.
I've never really heard him talk about that, I guess.
Mark, he was a Cincinnati Reds fan. I can answer that. He was a Cincinnati Reds fan.
I guess that's what I would have assumed, but
he was a big Reds fan. He can. You want to talk 1976 Cincinnati Reds? He's your guy. By the way, he says the Big Red Machine collapsed when they traded Tony Perez. Mark Bono, 3 pitches for 3 outs, in my opinion, is the rarest of feats. Manny Rivera did it in a playoff game. Yeah, I mean, they obviously have math involved in this of what is the rarest. Ray in Texas with Boise State looking so bad last night. Doesn't that justify that
That's a good tweet.
that Genty was the true Heisman last year? Genty never would have let that happen. That's a great call.
MVP. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that ticket on Genty. Didn't get there. Kevin Downs. My brother from another. He says, U.S. Open memory, 1999, went to day session with ground tickets when I was leaving. A young man had 2 extra tickets for the night session, opening night of the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Wow, what a gift. Whitney Houston was the guest, sang One Moment in Time. Sing it, Kelly.
Yeah, I can't.
I'd like to. Duke of the South, please do a quick recap of Paul Carr. An over on Saturday and 2 unders on Sunday. What were the plays again, Kelly?
We have Leeds Newcastle over 2.5 goals tomorrow. Nottingham Forest and West Ham under 2.5 on Sunday. And Liverpool Arsenal under 2.5 on Sunday.
By the way, the memes on Jerry Jones go from hilarious to just...
Oh, yeah.
Just
Gil was having a good time yesterday afternoon,
God.
I'll tell you that much.
Oh, man, Paul Zhang can afford the expensive Todd Wishnev now with that extra 5 hours a week, huh? Man is very expensive. It's very true. All right, want to talk Super Bowl exactas? Kelly, let me preface this. Kelly Bidlin kind of sends me homework on a nightly basis. Would that be accurate?
Yeah.
Like, hey, maybe let's talk about this. Sometimes I'm like, oh, great bets. Sometimes, as you know, with some of the baseball ones we did in the last couple of days, it's like this detailed thing, and you're like, yeah, these bets suck. This was one, I don't think I've ever had this response to anything. You know the Price is Right range game they used to play? So not Plinko, our favorite game.
Game.
Copyright Beating the Book podcast. But the range game where there was like this thing of prices and this thing would go up and down and then the contestant would have to stop it. And if the price was in that range, I could not select one or two Super Bowl exactas based on that Green Bay news. I have a range from which I believe it's going to. I believe the best bets are. You have sexier ones than me, I'm guessing.
You want to go through your range though?
Okay, my range is somewhere between the 40-1 and 70-1 lies the winner. And it ranges from Baltimore to beat Green Bay. These are exactas. Now, I am a proponent of matchups.
Wait, hold on. You did. I am guessing though you left out. Sir, you did leave out some exact matchups in this range,
not
right?
Between 40 to 70
really?
to 1.
This
These
is
are
everyone.
all of the.
Wow,
these
okay.
are the 14 matchups. Excuse me, not matchups. 14 exactas in between 40 to 1 and 70 to 1 at DraftKings. I am a proponent of betting matchups because I don't want to go all that distance and lose on the Super Bowl itself. But I believe the exacta is going to come from this group. Problem, and by the way, I think Green Bay. So in other words, I avoided all the Phillies. All the Philadelphias, I don't want any part of those, even though I still have Philadelphia power rank number 1. If you're betting a Super Bowl exacta, let's not bet the short shots here, right? Let's have some bang for your buck on these. But I do believe that you can't get too crazy because I don't think an outlying team that's not one of the usual suspects here is actually going to rise and win the Super Bowl or even compete in the Super Bowl. I think it's a stepping stone league now, like the NBA used to be, and I think no team's going to come out of nowhere. So from Baltimore to beat Green Bay at 40 to 1, then a bunch of Green Bays to beat the Buffalo, Baltimore, KC trifecta in the AFC. KC to beat Green Bay is in there at 50 to 1. Then I got Buffalo and Baltimore beating Detroit at 55 to 1. Detroit to beat Buffalo and Baltimore 60 to 1. Buffalo and Baltimore to beat Washington at 65 to 1, and then Detroit to beat KC, Buffalo and Baltimore to beat San Francisco at 70 to 1. Those are the groups of teams. So three in the AFC and Green Bay, Detroit, San Francisco, Washington. 3 in the AFC, the 3 top teams in the AFC, and then the 4 right below Philly. I think your Super Bowl exacta should come from that group. You pick the combination.
Yeah, mainly agree. I think in different years, there's different opportunities and different ways, I think, to bet this market. What's the likelihood, though, that one of the AFC representatives is not the Bills, Ravens, Chiefs? I don't even know if I'd go past that, right? Like it's not much. And then you kind of have, I agree with you, it's Philly on top in the NFC, but then it's kind of wide open after that. Now, if you get 2 conferences like that, you can have some real fun with these exactas and go real deep. So what I did was mainly just kind of, okay, who do I like best in the AFC? And then let's tie in maybe some randomness in the NFC. So I went to 2 Bills exactas. I don't really know how we made the same bet, though, and had different numbers, unless someone came in and bet the Bills over the Commanders yesterday.
I looked up.
Right? Yeah.
Unless I don't understand.
75 to 1.
How
was
this
what
here
I looked
numbers
at
things works.
Yeah. Maybe someone came in and bet this, and then it got bet down to 65 by the time Gil got there. I included the Rams, too. I've talked about them over the offseason.
Yeah,
Bills over Rams.
Rams, Texans, I did not. I did not include those 2 teams.
And then I just went one. This is the one crazy one. If you wanted to go fun, and we talk about Bills, Ravens, Chiefs not making it, who's the next AFC team that could? How about a Rams over Texans Super Bowl exacta at 450 to 1?
Wow. You really went nuts on there. So, I mean, that's the thing. Usually when we do this, I have, these are my favorite bets, and I'll tell you if I'll bet them or not. This one was just, I don't know if I can select one right now, but this is the range from which it comes. By the way, if you're wondering what are the short shots here, Eagles to beat Ravens, these are all 30 to 1. Eagles to beat Ravens, Bills to beat Eagles, Ravens to beat Eagles, Eagles to beat Bills, Eagles to beat Chiefs. It's 35 to 1, that last one, but the rest are 30 to 1. Those are the short shots, by the way, followed by Chiefs to beat Eagles. So all of the Eagle combos with the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs, win or lose, are your top 6.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes
a lot of
sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
And then the Lions combinations come after that, right? You and I both did our NFC power rankings yesterday.
Generally, they come after that,
Yeah, we both did our power rankings yesterday, and we had that conversation, right? You kind of have to go 1-2 with the Eagles-Lions at the top of the NFC. I think there's room for that to change through the season. And that's where, like me and you aren't betting this right now, but we could. We could in a month or two. I want to see how this NFC shapes up a little bit.
I think I'm more likely to bet a matchup, though. Despite obviously that price will not be as long, but I think that's probably the way I go on some of these. Like I did with baseball. Just matchup. Just get Padres, Tigers, just meet in the World Series. 66-1 for me. Make it happen. But anyway, a fascinating market to look at here before the season even starts. Eagles the short shot, but I got my range from which I think the winner will